adventurers, and welcome to the Carnival Mardi Gras. Let me show you all this ship has to offer. So here we are on deck 16. Here at the back, we're starting at the aft of the ship. This is in the middle of the day, so it's very, very busy. So we have the tides pool area. It is like an infinity pool kind of situation. It is nice, but it gets very crowded throughout the day. So you have the pool and the two hot tubs. This has been where we have majority stayed back here. And that's where I would stay. I highly recommend that. This is probably where a lot of people could hang out, and it's a little bit quieter, and you're right here next to food, so I definitely really like the Tides Pool. Again, this is where we spent the most time here on this ship. And then, okay, here we're going into the main pool area. Very loud. Of course, you have a bar. This is where a lot of your pool games go, and they have very loud music playing. So in the main pool area, you got your main pool. You have one hot tub, and okay, so now we're on floor 18 at the front of the ship, and we have the Serenity adult only area. So we have different towels here, which is nice. See, we're in 18. They have different padded chairs. We have not spent any time up here, but we do have our kids with us like all the time, so we wouldn't necessarily be over here. It's 18 and up only. So that is where we are. Here is the adult only section. There's a lot more shade over here, I've noticed. Really cool chairs over here. Again, a lot more shade. Oh, you have like padded seating here in the middle. That's really cool. Of course, you have a bar and a drink station for some water. Okay, we do have a hot tub on both sides of Serenity right after you get out of the stairwell. So our pool's in the middle and our hot tubs are here on the sides, one on each side. So on floor 19, I do not have this entry, but it's loft 19, and they have cabanas available. They're open from 8 to 8, but wristband required for entry. For the screen. Then you have the warehouse arcade. Remember, this would be at a special cost for that. They do have they have what's called a power hour for half off if you'd like to do an arcade. It's a pretty big arcade. Let me show you. Oh, excuse me. They even have a virtual reality like roller coaster and a shooting game. Yeah, pretty cool. And now we're here on deck 18 at the back of the ship. This is the fun recreation area here on the Carnival Mardi Gras. So you do have like a mini golf course. I think it's like 9-hole. We did have fun doing that. It's great. The banks are kind of not high enough, so you kind of go off of the putting green a little bit, but it is still fun. Then you have your walking track, if that's your vibe. And then here we spend a lot of time, so this is your waterworks. So you have your splash pad mixed in with your 3 slides. So we have 3 slides here. So we have the yellow twisty slide. It is by far the fastest slide, and a little bit rough, but super fun. Then we have the orange slide, which is probably the most popular one. It's a drop floor. If you've never done a drop floor, this is the one to do. It is the smallest one, and it is pretty fun. I've done it. And then we also did the blue one, which is the mat slide. So you have to lay on your stomach and go. So that's probably the funnest one for sure. Inside there, you also have your water bucket drop from your splash pad area. Here's where you get on the bolt. This does cost an extra amount. It's $15 per person. You must be totally dry, and you must pay $15 per person, but you must be totally dry, and you have to make a reservation for it. So I would not wait till the last day, and apparently if it's too windy, they will shut down the services of it. So I would recommend doing this before the last day. And it is, you do not have any way to make it go faster or not. It is the speed it is, but you do get 2 rounds for that $15. I definitely recommend doing it at least once. And I have a 7-year-old, and she really enjoyed it, so I recommend it pretty much for everybody in the family if they are tall enough, because you can ride 2 people at a time, and so that was super fun. You have a few chairs over here as well that are like a little bit shaded area, but you're so far away from the pool. I just don't feel like this is a good spot. So I get way too hot. I need to be at the pool. Okay, over here you see the ropes course, which we're going to do again. We have already done. It was great, except for the fact that like other kids are not very nice and they kind of ran me off the platform. But right here is a special area where you can actually go on a plank and go over the water. That's really cool. It got a little bit too crowded up there, so I did not do that part, but I did the rest of the ropes course, and I'm going to do a little bit later. Again, so fun. It did take a while as far as the line to get done with it. It took me about 45 minutes to wait for the line, so on a sea day it's going to be very, very busy, so be prepared for that. And of course you have your basketball court. We do not usually play basketball in here just because it has actually been very popular on this cruise to have your basketball court. So that's kind of fun. Then you have some foosball tables here, cornhole, and actually pool outside, which is very, very unique. So if you swing around this way, you do see the back to the main pool area. Kind of see down there, see the massive amount of people that's there. Doing the zip line today. So the first sea day we had that we did the ropes course, they were not doing the zip line because it was too windy. Looks like they are doing it today, so check that out. So I need to go tell my group that we need to go do that. They're gonna do it because that's over the ocean where you're doing that. So cool. But yeah, but you gotta have, now for this, you do have to have closed-toed shoes. Just like the roller coaster, you do have to have closed-toed shoes and you do have to be dry. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. And if you're at the pool, you do need to get dry and wear your tennis shoes to participate in that. Okay, and that's deck 18 here on the back. Again, we have a few more of these chairs. So now we're gonna actually head down below decks to the common areas for during kind of the non-day part, in my opinion. But there is one deck that you would be kind of surprised is a day area. Let me show you. This is the other side of the splash pad area, because you have some little slides for our littler travelers, and then you have this cool little waterworks area that my kids have loved playing with. They can turn the water on and move it around. Very cool, very interactive. I do have some chairs for the adults to sit. I kind of wish they had more chairs up here, but there's not really enough room, so this is kind of fun. Again, the only kind of negative there is that instead of, like, you can't be at the pool and let them go over to the waterworks and just say come on down, because you got 2 floors to go down. So that's the only negative with the waterworks. You kind of have to go up here, stay up there for a while. Great. Welcome to deck 8, which is another surprisingly daytime location. You don't normally have it this low. So on deck 8 we have what's called Summer Landing, and so we have a nice pool here. And there is some more shaded areas, so if you're looking for more of a shaded experience, then deck 8 may be for you here. You also have, of course, 2 more hot tubs on this side. Now, what's weird about these hot tubs, they are reclined, which could be nice if they weren't always super packed. I'd say that, and there's literally no one in this one, but usually they're kind of super packed, and that makes it kind of uncomfortable. Now, there is a deck all the way around the ship, and there are loungers pretty much around the entire ship on deck 8. Also, there is a section that I did go through earlier, so make sure you check one of my vlogs. Make sure you check out one of my vlogs. I will link it down below, where I went and toured the Havana area, which has its own deck area, and that is on deck 8. So there will be a section that is Havana only that has its own pool as well. Have a bar that is not as crowded. It's also kind of working as your sports bar, so they do show games here, including the March Madness NCAA tournament, which is great. So they have kind of like a picnic table atmosphere. It gets a little bit crowded in here because there's only the one screen, but it works out. And then we also have another ice cream and frozen yogurt station. Again, today is vanilla and chocolate. Looks like across the ship. Next we have what's called so they're calling that the Heroes Tribute. Now here is a unique area. Again, this is on deck 8. There's a unique area that this Carnival ship has, is it has like 2 theaters. We have what's called Grand Central, and this is our first theater. And instead of having one big theater, they kind of have 2 smaller theaters, and this one's like open. So they've done a lot of the ones that do have some aerial work and stuff would be here. So I have noticed, so you have seating on 6, 7, and 8, but there's not a whole lot of seating for any of the shows. So if you decide you want to go see any of the shows, make sure you do go when doors open if you want to get a seat, especially if you have more than 2 people. So, and people can get vicious over saving seats, so just let you know. Literally last night I kind of got into it lately about saving seats. So yeah, definitely recommend coming to see some of these shows. As far as the shows go, the best one that I saw, again, make sure you watch my vlogs to check them out, but the best one probably is the Broadway show, Broadway Beats, but none of them are spectacular that we have seen besides the Love and Marriage show, which is like a game show. So, but unfortunately Carnival's not really known for that. Royal Caribbean does a better job of that. But again, if you do like kind of a bigger type show, this is one location where you could kind of see that. And we have seen a show every night, so we do go see the shows in general. On deck 7, so we have the Mardi Gras Theater. Now this is one of 2 theaters that they have. I wonder if I can get in. I don't know if I can get in or not. No, I can't get in. But I have been in there for sure, so make sure you check out my other vlogs. I will link them down below. And you can check out the theater, and that's where, again, most of your bigger stage shows have been, and it's a more enclosed traditional theater. So that's where that would be. But not as many seats, so again, the seating goes quick. Okay, also on deck 7, you've got the casino. Pretty large casino on deck 7.
And he used to be a truck driver and my
You do have tables as well as slots if you're looking for. They do have digital dealers there. I believe at night they do have regular dealers as well. We have not spent time in here because we don't typically gamble. But it takes up both kind of sides of the ship. They're on deck 7 and then takes you right into Grand Central. It's the Carnival Fun Shops. They do, since it's a very small store, they actually switch out their merchandise like all the time. Then we have our daily deals here. But yeah, they don't really have much of an art gallery. They just kind of have a few little sections here and there that have kind of art kind of stacked up in a sense. So right here we have a really cool new feature of Carnival, which is called the Carnival Kitchen, fun with cooking. So here's where you can actually pay for cooking demonstrations, and somebody's in there now. You pay for cooking demonstration and you get to cook something. So it'd be a really cool thing if you want to do that with as a couple or as a friend and get try to do some nice cooking. Here we are into the Cloud 9 spa, which is kind of interesting. Why is it not on 9? It's on 6 instead. So this is the fitness center on deck 6. I did check out and do a spa tour on my first day here. So if you want to see what the spa looks like, then definitely check that out on my vlog that I will link down below. Definitely check that out. Now it's different here in the fact that you do have windows to see outside, but it's not as kind of front and center as it has been on other ships. But they do have all the kind of stuff you want if you're wanting to do any kind of workout here. You have a pretty good amount of exercise equipment, the amount of machines, so all your stuff if you're looking to work out. That would not be me right now because instead we're doing the restaurant tour rather than that. And then on the other side of the hallway you've got the Cloud 9 spa, and that's where, again, if you want to see what the spa looks like, definitely check that out. I kind of wish I'd done the relaxation situation, that you could pay a special ticket for that, so I would maybe look about doing that. It's very similar to the Rainforest Rim of Disney cruises if you have ever done that before. Let's see you next time. Bye.